Well, with more on these developments, I'm joined now by Patrick Brown. He's a professor of climate science at San Jose State University in California. Hello to you there. Welcome to Euronews. So we've seen two record-breaking heat waves in 1 month. How likely is it that some of those record temperatures that we've seen, some of those records that have been set, will be broken again pretty soon?
Well, that's exactly the pattern that we're seeing, and it's the pattern that's been being predicted for decades. So when you increase the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, it causes more heat to be trapped, and there's a direct link that it increases the likelihood of these extreme heat waves. And so we've seen it historically, and we're going to continue to see it, the trend go up. And there's kind of a misnomer that we're entering a new normal, and it's not a new normal because we're continuing to pump greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which is going to continue to increase the frequency of these extremes. It's not like we've reached some new plateau. It's going to keep going up until we start reducing emissions.
So there is a sense that global warming is speeding up, and we're seeing devastation that these high temperatures have brought to the Arctic. What would the long-term effect be of these temperature rises in areas like the Arctic, where traditionally low temperatures have been the norm?
Yeah, so as we continue to put CO2 into the atmosphere, CO2 basically stays in the atmosphere for thousands of years. And so that induces warming on the Greenland ice sheet, on the Antarctic ice sheet, and that has started these things to melt. So we've had satellite records of the mass of the ice sheets tracking these things since the early 2000s, and they're losing mass at a pretty alarming rate. And now it took millions and millions of years to build up these ice sheets, so they don't disappear immediately, but they are losing mass very quickly. And so within centuries, you're going to see large portions of them gone. And it's very difficult to stop that once that starts. So you have to basically pull CO2 out of the atmosphere, which we don't know how to do, in order to get that to reverse.
We'd have to make such drastic changes, and there's no sign of that happening. On the other side of the spectrum, there is concern that the hottest places in the world will become unlivable. For instance, India. Parts of India, I mean.
Exactly, yeah. It's a big concern that during the warmest times of the year, if you warm it up a little bit, you're crossing various thresholds where it's incredibly difficult for humans to even, to work outside or to be outside for long periods of time, and especially the elderly and infants. And so what that is likely to do is to induce migration out of those areas of the world, which, as we've seen, can be politically destabilizing, both for the origin and the destination of people moving.
Patrick Brown, really good to get your thoughts on this climate crisis. Thank you very much for talking to us here at Euronews.